In this lesson, I like to discuss the anatomy of the lungs. And here we're looking at an anterior view of the lungs. I've left a little bit of a shaded area here, some other respiratory structures, the trachea, which you can see the larynx up here. And we can see the trachea and the tracheal cartilages. Other than that, guys, we're not concerned with those structures more than we are concerned with the lung itself. And the lung, of course, we have a right lung and a left lung. And we do want to look at that. We'll begin with the right lung and look at its anatomy. And then we'll go to the left lung and look at its anatomy. And then we'll look at the various surfaces of the lung. And I'm going to begin on the right lung, and I'm going to outline one of the major lobes of the lung. On the right lung, this is the superior lobe. The superior lobe of the lung. Now I'm going to come in with purple, and I'm going to outline the middle lobe, middle, and then we're going to use blue, and we're going to outline the inferior lobe of the lung. Now, what makes this interesting, if I come in with red, and I go between the superior middle lobes, and I color this in red, this is called the horizontal fissure. Horizontal fissure. Horizontal fissure. If I take orange and come here between the middle lobe and the inferior lobe, I have an oblique fissure. So a horizontal fissure and an oblique fissure. Now this is on the right lung, so let's clear these off and turn our attention to the left lung. Now the left lung, if I come in, I can use purple, has a superior lobe. And let's use green and show the inferior lobe. Now, with those two structures, that is all we have. So between these, I'm going to use red and depict the oblique fissure. That is the only fissure we have on this lung, the space between these two lobes on that side. Now, I'm going to use blue to come in and show an area here where the heart will sit. This is the cardiac notch. And the cardiac notch is only on the left lung because the heart sits towards the left in more of a position. So the heart would be sitting in this space here. And you would see the heart taking up room right here. Now, one of those things that why I'm doing this, why I'm coloring the heart in, and I need to remove it as well, is because the heart sits in an area, the first kind of region, the first surface I want to talk about. The heart sits in here. So let's erase some of these fissures and lobes and clear up our diagram a little bit. And everything in red here is called the mediastinum. The mediastinum. And the mediastinum is the area, of course, where the heart is sitting. Now, the other ones, the entirety of the front. The entire front surface of this is the costal surface because it sits behind the ribs. So that's all costal surface. Now the last one, and I'm going to draw in, a muscle will be sitting right here on the inferior aspect of this guy, the diaphragm. So everything on the bottom is the diaphragmic surface. Diaphragmic. So the diaphragmic surface sitting there. There are some other structures in which we may talk about, like it's the lung's apex, and each lung having a base, and inferior angles and superior angles, etc. But generally speaking, on a two-dimensional thing, you can't see all those structures that well, so I briefly mentioned them here. But everything that we can see there, those are the primary structures you would see of the lung. And this concludes my little video on the anatomy of a lung. Thank you.